Okay friends, it's time to get started on replacing our front brakes. The first thing you need to do is safely raise and support the front of the vehicle so the wheel's off the ground. After that, remove all 6 of your 19mm lug nuts and then the wheel. Now that the wheel's out of the way, we have a nice clear view of our front brakes. This area here is your brake rotor, and behind the caliper is where your brake pads are going to be located. Now we're going to have to get the rotor off of here eventually, so the first thing I always like to do is spray the area with some penetrant, let it sit so we can continue on to the caliper itself. While that's doing its job, let's use a small pry bar. We're going to carefully get in between the caliper and the rotor. I'll come down in between here, find the rotor with the very tip of it, and now I'm going to start prying the caliper in this direction, the outward direction. As I do that, what we're trying to do is push in the pistons that are located behind these 2 areas. They're going to go into this area. You'll also see that the slider pins start sliding into the bracket. We only need to go far enough that we can get the caliper off of here easily. We'll continue pushing it in later. I've got some movement from here. Now we can continue on to our 2 caliper slider bolts. Let's move along to our 2 19mm headed slider pin bolts. Those bolts are the bolts that hold the caliper to the slider pins. You'll find one down low and one directly above it. We'll remove the pair. Inspect your hardware as you remove it. Assuming it looks good, go ahead and set it aside. Remove your caliper. Once you have it off of there, give it a quick inspection. We're looking for tear or wear on the boots here. Other than that, if you happen to see any fluid coming out of this area in between the piston and the boot, that means you have a bad seal inside the caliper. If that's the case, you need to buy yourself a new one. We'll set this aside. The next thing we're going to do is start removing the brake pads from the bracket. Once you have your brake pads off, you need to give them a quick inspection. What we're looking to see is if it looks like the pad material looks like it's worn at an angle. If it's worn at an angle, it's common that either the pad was stuck in the bracket, which you saw here, or even one of these slider pins is frozen. Either way, it could cause brake issues down the road, so you need to make sure you deal with that. I'll go ahead and pop these tins right off of there. We'll set these aside for recycling because we do have new ones in our kit. Now it's time to remove the caliper bracket bolts. We'll use an 18mm socket for that. When you have the first one out and give it an inspection, just go ahead and put it in there a few good threads. We'll continue on to fully remove the last. Once that's out of there, this out of here, remove your bracket, set it aside. With the caliper out of the way, we can continue on to removing our brake rotor. Before we do much with that, let's take one of our lug nuts and start it onto one of the studs. You don't need to bottom it out, we just want to make sure that the rotor cannot fall off and potentially hurt us while we continue. If you were to look at the hat of the rotor, you're going to find that you have one T30 bolt that holds the rotor to the wheel bearing located behind it. That bolt essentially looks like a star. Once again, it's a T30. We'll go ahead and put that right into that mounting bolt. Now I'm going to use an air gun for this, and essentially I just want to cause some vibration to help break all the rust free. There we go. Set that aside because you will be reusing it. Now let's use a hammer, and we're going to give this a loving bonk to break it free from the wheel bearing. Remove your rotor. Now that we have the brake rotor off there, we're going to have to clean the hub mating surface. I'll use some parts cleaner, try to get off as much of the penetrant as possible, and then I'm going to use a sanding disc or even a wire brush and try to clean up as much of this as possible. Once that's dried, continue on cleaning up the mating surface. Once you have the main hub cleaned up, continue on with a wire brush along each of these areas. Give this area a quick inspection, make sure it's smooth. There's no rust or debris in the area. If you don't do a good job cleaning this, you're going to find you have a brake pulsation in the end. Once you're sure it's good, continue on with some copper never sees. Now it's going to be time to put our brake rotor on here, but before we do, I want to mention the areas that have the threaded screw holes on the wheel bearing. It's important to make sure that when you put your brand new rotor on there, one of these beveled areas lines up perfectly. If it doesn't seem like it does, just go ahead and turn it until one of those holes does line up. Once you have it lined up, continue on with your mounting bolt. We'll start that in there by hand to make sure we're not cross-threading it. After that, go ahead and snug it up. Now it's time to move along to the caliper bracket itself. We already took off the tins from each of these four corners, and we'll get back to those in a second. But before we do, let's move along to the caliper slider pins. Now what you'll notice is as I grab the pin, it has a boot that sits right inside of a groove. So I'll hold the boot and I'll go ahead and pull the pin right out of there. Once I have it out, I like to clean these down. I'll use a nice clean rag. Wipe the entire shaft. Once you have it clean, give that shaft an inspection. If it looks like it's rotted or pitted or damaged in any way that might cause some sort of restriction, you have to go ahead and sand it down or even replace it. Speaking of cleaning things up, all the way down where my index finger is, there's a groove. That's the groove where the boot needs to sit. So of course you need to clean that as well. That's easiest done with a wire wheel or even a wire brush. I'll do the same to this one right here. Shaft looks good on that one. I'll take both of these to the wire wheel. We'll clean up that groove area at the very end, set them aside, and we'll move along. Those look good. The next thing we want to do is clean up the ports where the slider pins are supposed to go. Commonly, when you're doing brakes, you'd want to grab onto the slider boot, give it a little twist, and pop it right out of there. On these boots in particular, they have an area that goes into the bracket. If you were to pry this out of here, you're going to completely damage the boot. It's not going to be reusable, and you will have to replace it. With that said, just go ahead and grab onto the boot, make sure it's soft and pliable, and it's not torn or worn in any way. Those feel good. Now the next thing we're going to do to clean this out is not use any type of parts cleaner. Getting parts cleaner onto these boots is going to make them swell, and then they're not going to seal properly. I'll continue on with a rag. We'll twist one end, and you guessed it. Slide it right on in there, twist it as much as we can to try to get inside of each of these ports right here. We want to get in as far as we can so we can remove any of the existing grease or any debris that's in the area. I'll do the same to the other one. Now once you have both of those ports cleaned up, let's continue on to each of the four corners that you had those caliper bracket tins. It's important to make sure you clean these four corners with some sort of sanding device to make sure that your new pads go in and they flow freely. If they're bound in any way, you're going to have braking issues. Once you're sure all 4 corners of the bracket are cleaned, continue on with a wire brush. We're going to make our way into the center area of the bracket on both sides, which is where the rotor is going to go. Just make sure there's no large debris in that area that could potentially damage the brakes. Now that that's all cleaned up, in your kit you're going to find it came with some high temperature moly grease. It's important to use a little bit of that grease along each of the 4 corners you just cleaned. It's going to help make sure that rust doesn't build up there, and it'll help lubricate things. With your kit came some brand new tins. Looking at the tins, you're going to see that you have 2 little flippy-doos that protrude like this in the area where the pads are supposed to slide into. On the back side, it's pretty much flat, in exception of the center area, which is where the locking tabs are. Those locking tabs are going to press directly into the center of the caliper bracket. Give that a wiggle to make sure it's secure. Do the same on the other side. Now it's time to move along to the caliper slider pins again. We're going to fully lubricate the entire shaft of the caliper slider pin. Once you have that lubricated, continue on all the way up to that groove that I talked to you about before, the groove that the boot's supposed to sit in. By putting grease in this area, it's going to help prevent moisture or debris to making its way inside this area, which could cause braking issues. We'll press it in. Once it's in, just go ahead and spin it around, essentially working the grease into the area. After it's in there and worked in, go ahead and wipe down any of the existing grease that's on the outside, and then just make sure it functions properly. That feels good. Do the same on the other side. Now that we're done cleaning and lubing our bracket, let's continue on to our mounting bolts. We want to make sure we clean off the threads and then reapply red thread locker to each of the mounting bolts. Once those bolts are clean, continue on putting the caliper bracket onto the knuckle. Take your 2 caliper bracket bolts with some red thread locker, start them in there by hand so you know they're not going to cross thread into position. Now we'll bottom out each of these bolts and then we'll torque them to 170 foot-pounds. Now it's going to be time to install our front brake pads. When you look at the pads, you're going to find 2 that are approximately this size, and then the other 2 will look a little bit larger. You want 1 of each. Now with that said, the larger pad is the one that's going to be the inboard pad. Another thing about that inboard pad is the wear indicator. That's this right here. You want to make sure you grab the pad with the wear indicator that's going to make sure that it's facing up when it's installed. So if I took this pad and I was to put it into the back of the bracket, you can see that wear indicator is up at the very top. The reason why you want to have it up at the top is so that when the truck is driving forward, if the wear indicator wore down to the point that it broke off, it wouldn't get caught inside the brake pads and send you off the road. It'll just make noise. Once you get your brake pad in there, you want to make sure you can move it around. If you had to use a hammer to try to bonk it in there, typically it means that your caliper bracket wasn't cleaned well enough. If that's the case, go ahead and pull it right back off of there, clean it up a little better, re-lubricate it, and torque it down. I'll continue with my outer brake pad. Now it's going to be time to push in the 2 caliper pistons. When you do this, you want to make sure that you press both of the pistons in at the same time. If I was to only press one in, either of them, the other one's going to want to protrude out. You're going to have to go back and forth, and it's just going to be a miserable time overall, and you could cause damage to the caliper. Go ahead and take one of your original pads, slide it in there, and then start compressing the caliper pistons into the caliper. Once you remove your tool, just double check to make sure both of the pistons are pressed in as far as they can. Let's continue on with some of that high temperature caliper lube. We're going to go along each of the caliper pistons. Once you have each of the caliper pistons lubricated, continue on to the back side of each of these 3 ears. This is going to help with vibration dampening and noise reduction overall. Now let's take that caliper and slide it in position over the pads, lining up our caliper slider pins. Once you have both of those in there, continue on with your 2 caliper slider bolts. Once again, we're using a little bit of red thread locker. Now we'll bottom these out. After we bottom them out, we'll torque them to 74 foot-pounds. Commonly, when you go to torque this, you're going to have to hold the slider pin still. Now at this point, we can go ahead and get the wheel up on here. We're going to start on all 6 of our lug nuts and bottom them out. Before we get the wheels back on the ground, go ahead over to the other side of the vehicle. Do the exact same thing. Once both wheels are on the ground, continue on by torquing them to 140 foot-pounds. All right, I've got the wheels safely back on the ground. We'll torque both front wheels to 140 foot-pounds. Torqued. Okay friends, now that we have all the wheels torqued, let's continue on by pumping up our brake pedal until it's nice and firm. Once you've done that, make your way under the hood to the master cylinder. You want to double check to make sure it's topped off with .3 brake fluid. You can see the maximum line. If it's low, just go ahead and bring it right up to that maximum. Close it off, close the hood, take it for a road test. Thanks for watching.